Everyone, welcome to the show. So here's what's all gone down since I last reported on the investigations into Donald Trump and his allies. As predicted, Trump is a weak paper tiger. He's too afraid to sit for an interview with the January 6th committee. We all knew it. So after blowing past subpoena deadlines, he filed a lawsuit to try to prevent the committee from forcing him to testify. There was some good news, though. The committee was given the green light to subpoena the phone and text records of Arizona GOP chairwoman Kelly Ward. The Supreme Court ruled that the committee can obtain those records. This has been going on for a while, back and forth. Notably, Justice Clarence Thomas refused to recuse himself from ruling on this matter. Yeah, even though these records may directly involve and directly implicate his wife. And he was one of only two dissenting opinions. So that tells you everything you need to know. Also, John Eastman lost his appeal in trying to claw back his emails from the January 6th committee. And at the beginning of the month, the committee interviewed additional members of the Secret Service, including the head of Mike Pence's security detail, a man named Tim Geibels. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Meanwhile, the judge handling the Peter Navarro case, his obstruction of Congress case, that judge has grown increasingly irritated by Navarro's refusal to provide any evidence whatsoever that Trump invoked executive privilege. So that's what he's trying to say. That's why he says he didn't show up to give testimony. He didn't turn over documents because of executive privilege. So Judge Amit Mehta told Navarro and his attorney, quote, "I'm asking for anything. You aren't even telling me that he whispered in his ear. You've given me nothing." So yeah, Navarro's defense for why he refused to comply with the committee's subpoena is basically as empty as Trump's claims of a stolen election. Unfortunately, due to this judge having more than a full plate, he's got all the Oath Keepers trials going on, all kinds of other stuff. He had to push Navarro's trial back to January 11th of next year. So Republicans will likely be in charge of the House at that point in time. They will probably have, disassembled the committee by the time that trial begins. It is what it is. In addition, the judge handling Steve Bannon's contempt of Congress sentencing has granted him a stay. So Bannon was sentenced to 4 months. You guys probably remember. He won't have to serve his jail sentence unless he loses his appeal on the matter. And the judge is allowing him to just sit out, enjoy himself, do a show while he waits. In regard to the DOJ investigation into the classified documents that Trump stole, Trump's attorneys urged the special master to reconsider a private meeting that he has scheduled with the National Archives. Trump's attorneys are trying to say this is inappropriate. They're trying to paint the National Archives as, quote, highly politicized and, quote, radical left controlled. Meanwhile, the Justice Department has asked the special master to force Trump to sign a sworn affidavit confirming the authenticity of these documents that were seized at Mar-a-Lago. The affidavit would also compel Trump to provide evidence based on his insinuations that the FBI planted documents at his property. So the DOJ asserts that now that Trump and his team have had a chance to review all of these seized materials, he essentially needs to put up or shut up. And in a court filing by Trump's team, his attorneys reiterated that Trump had the authority to declassify any and all documents that he stole. This was in response to the DOJ's filing asking for the special master to be dismissed. So once again, Trump's attorneys are saying, oh, he could declassify anything he wants, but they're still refusing to say in writing that he did declassify this material. And then now they're saying that Trump had the authority to magically make all of these documents his own personal property just by taking them to Florida. And the DOJ filed a response saying basically, no, that's not how this works. And here's the thing that I was thinking. If Trump could use, let's say, magic beans in his pocket to make these documents his personal property, then why did he hide them from the National Archives? Why didn't he just say, yeah, I've got a shit ton of documents over here. And guess what? They're mine. They're mine because I declassified them or I sprinkled fairy dust on them and they're my personal property now. He didn't do that. In fact, he lied and he hid them. So that proves that he knew he wasn't entitled to them and he knew he was going to be in trouble if they were discovered. So this is all such nonsense. These are all such ridiculous arguments he's making. Anyway, it's now being reported that sources with knowledge of the DOJ investigation say that they believe Trump stole the documents due to his ego rather than for money or blackmail or whatever. I'm not buying it. And the thing is, regardless of his motive, he violated the law and he can be held accountable for violating those laws, no matter what his motive might have been. To that end, Trump advisor Kash Patel was questioned already before the grand jury investigating this matter. This is after they granted him limited immunity. So we don't know what was said, but that's done. In regard to the DOJ's January 6th investigation, Mike Lindell lost his legal challenge to try to get his phone back. Also, he was trying to get the data back that they had downloaded. The judge also ruled against his motion to view the search warrant data, which was the impetus for the seizure of his phone. In relation to Trump's New York tax fraud investigation, he tried and failed to get the judge to overturn a ruling about that babysitter that I mentioned for the Trump organization. As you guys probably recall, the New York Attorney General caught the Trump organization continuing to commit crimes after she filed charges against the company. And then she caught them trying to set up an alternative corporation. So the judge agreed to a court monitor to make sure, they don't stash their money somewhere where it can't be seized, to make sure that they're not committing more crimes. Trump tried to have that overturned and he lost. So then, Trump being Trump, he sued the attorney general. And now it's being reported that his attorneys staged an intervention and they tried to talk him out of it because they believe it's a frivolous lawsuit. Of course, Trump didn't listen, so he went right ahead with it. As for the grand jury investigation going on in Georgia, attorney Lynn Wood has apparently already testified. Former Republican Speaker of the House, Newt Gingrich, has been ordered to testify. He tried to fight the subpoena issued by the district attorney down there, and the judge disagreed. And so Gingrich is scheduled to meet with the grand jury tomorrow, November 16th. So we'll see. He said that he might consider submitting an appeal. I'm sure he would do that at the last minute. And an Illinois judge has ruled that Reverend Stephen Lee does not have to testify before that Georgia grand jury. Lee is the man I've mentioned before. He accompanied Georgia election worker Ruby Freeman and Kanye West's so-called publicist to the Georgia police station, where this publicist, this was a woman named Trevion Kuti, she threatened Ms. Freeman. And the DA wanted to question Lee to find out, why did you go to Freeman's home? How did you become involved in this effort to basically badger her into admitting to voter fraud, which she never committed? Unfortunately, Lee's attorney successfully convinced the judge that he shouldn't have to comply with this out-of-state subpoena. So we'll see what happens with that. The final update I have is about a case that I didn't have on my bingo card, to be honest. Trump, his son, Eric, and his former aide, Hope Hicks, have all been deposed in the ongoing class action lawsuit about a pyramid scheme. You guys will probably remember this. It hasn't come up in a while, but the plaintiffs allege that Trump and his family used their high-profile image and their name recognition to promote this multi-level marketing company called American Communications Network. They also go by ACN Opportunity LLC. And these people say that they lost thousands of dollars as a result, that this was all a scam, that Trump never used the product himself. His family knew, They were just in it for the money. So that's it for the updates. But are you guys ready for Trump's big announcement tonight? Is my question. I mean, apparently, once he announces that he's running for office, the Republican National Committee has said that they can no longer cover his legal bills. So I wonder if he knows that. Shh, don't tell him. let's let him find out all on his own after he tries to submit all these bills to them for all of these multitude of of lawsuits against him. He will not be happy when he figures that out. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. Take care, and I will talk with you soon. Please like, share, subscribe. Please leave a donation if you can through Super Thanks, or sign up through the podcast on Supercast. Link in the description below. If you're on TikTok, you can leave me a tip, or you can go to my bio where you can also sign up for Supercast monthly donation, things like that. So thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. I'll talk with you soon.